There we go. Tail, tail, tail. 2 dives. There we go. It's cool to see some tails.
Yeah. Very
Fluke.
cool. Oh my gosh, he just breached!
He breached. He just breached.
Welcome to the Great Bear Rainforest. While grizzly bears are often the main attraction, the coastal waters of British Columbia offer something much bigger. A wildlife safari where anything is possible. One moment it's breaching whales, the next a raft of sea otters drifting through the channel. It's a place where eagles fill the sky while bears roam the shoreline. In the Great Bear Rainforest, you never know what the day will bring. On this adventure, I'm putting the final pieces together for a photography workshop I've been planning for 2027. We'll be exploring one of the most wildlife-rich regions in North America while staying at an incredible wilderness lodge, experiencing the culture, the food, and of course, the remarkable wildlife that makes this place so special. I'm partnering with Sea Wolf Adventures. They have all the expertise out on the water and back at the lodge. Now in this episode, I'll give you a taste of what we'll see, where we'll go, what we'll eat, and what guests can expect from this bucket list experience. So with that, let's get started. If you are new to this channel, my name is Shannon and I'm a full-time photographer in beautiful British Columbia. Whether you're here to learn, be inspired, or simply enjoy some stunning visuals, you've come to the right place. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. So our first day was overcast, but fairly calm out on the water. This is the beautiful boat that we're going to be taking out that Sea Wolf Adventures owns. And it's got a huge back deck, which is perfect for a bunch of people to take photos. And then inside we got the Shockwave seats that are amazing for any bumpy days out on the water. And I thought I turned on my mic, telling you about some of the wildlife that we're out photographing. Up first, we saw some sea otters.
See any bears, but we did see some sea otters, eagles, river otter, bunch of wildlife. And now we're here at the lodge.
Now there are very few places that you can really feel at home, have all the luxury, good food, and connect that with wildlife and being out in a remote location. This spot right here is truly a vacation away from home, and we're right there on the ocean. Look at this place.
In my cabin, check this out. Look at the space. You know, when you look at the photos online, you're never really sure, you know, the size and the space, but it is stunning in here in this log cabin. That's where we're going to be eating, so I'll show you guys that a little bit later. I love this. Look at that. Got a hot water tank just for me, my own shower, my own water, big bathroom. Look at that. Down there is where we're going to have our supper as well as breakfast. Drinks down over there, nice little fireplace. And there's the beautiful ocean. We got Vancouver Island way off in the back. So in here is where we're gonna have our supper as well as breakfast.
This lodge, of course, is fully set up. I mean, you got delicious coffee, you got a cold plunge here in this cedar tub. It's very spacious. There's also a huge cedar hot tub, so you can see here. And then we have a sauna room here in the sauna house. And there is plenty of places to sit back and relax or play some pool. Yeah, they got a nice pool table here. It's just a really comfortable spot that has everything you need. The rooms are very clean, of course, and extremely comfortable. It's got Wi-Fi and, your own hot water. They even have rain gear just in case you might have forgot something. They got a lounge area, cocktails that can be made, and of course the alpaca that are there on the property. They're so fun to look at and have just roaming the property while you are just relaxing. This is Mike. He is the owner and operator of Seawolf Adventures, and he's given us our orientation. Now, after orientation, we headed over into the dining room, and this is where the food, as you can see here, is just amazing. 3-course meals, and after we stretched our belts, it was time to call it a night. Overnight it rained quite a bit, and it was so soothing to hear the rain on the roof while you were sleeping. Now after breakfast we walked down to the dock and we saw this amazing rainbow and there was blue sky. And by the time we set sail, the sun broke through. Before you know it, we were photographing and filming humpback whales in the strait on our way out to see some grizzly bears. So this is just one of those times where you never know what you're gonna see, you never know what you're gonna run into. And here was just a bunch of humpbacks.
There we go, tail, tail, tail. 2 dives, there we go. Okay, oh, there's still more. There they are. Nice. Another tail. Nice. It's cool to see some tails.
Yeah. There you go. Oh my gosh, he just breached.
He breached. He just breached. We're geared, ready to go to see some grizzlies. So we're taking this little boat. Nice and grippy for the feet.
I do, yeah.
This is where the Pelican case comes in handy. Now there's a Canadian company, so if you're Canadian or not Canadian, you want to support them. They make gear just like this, tougher cases. Anyway, so I've got Mike's wiping down the place. Look at that squeegee service. So I've got a thermal scope. It's cold morning, so the heat of the bears, really going to be able to see that in the estuary. And then I've got an Insta360 as well as a housing unit, so this can go underwater if, I don't know. So I've got that lined up, and then I've got my Nikon Z9 as well as a 400 prime with a 1.4 teleconverter. Now I do have a 500 f4 on board. I'm just gonna leave it there though. That's it. Let's go see some bears.
This was the first bear that we seen grazing on the sedge grass. Now this grass is very important to coastal bears. because once they come out of hibernation, they have a lot of weight that they've lost that they need to put back on. And this sedge grass has a lot of protein. Now, despite this bear's size, this is a female bear, and I actually photographed and filmed this female last year. And she had 2 cubs, but it looks like both cubs didn't make it. Now, oddly enough, we spotted another cub, but this cub belonged to the sister of the bear we just saw. So this cub is one of 2. I actually filmed them last year as well, and they've gotten a lot bigger, bit fluffier, bit more build to them. Now with the Nikon Z9, I can use the crop factor, cropping into these grizzlies and filming them still in 4K. I program a function button, and so when I'm ready to record, I can press that function button, zoom in, take whatever recording I want, and then zoom back out. Now they were napping, but every once in a while they would put their noses up in the air and sniff the air. Just because the sister, who is a much bigger grizzly, down the way is getting closer and closer. And then the wind every once in a while would blow up that way and they would catch a scent. And this is where things got a little bit more exciting. You always got to be prepared for rain, sometimes a downpour in the Great Bear Rainforest. Now the bigger sister here is moving up the coastline towards them. And the mama, she keeps smelling the air and moving her cubs along. Now there wasn't any concern really about the sister bear that was getting closer to them, until one of the cubs got a good smell and decided to go up on the hind legs to take a closer look. And that's when we locked eyes. This photo I kind of laugh at just because it looks like that panic in the eyes, like, oh shoot, what's gonna happen? And then before you know it, they started running. Now I believe the name of this mama bear is Thimble. And Thimble has done such a great job with these 2 cubs, making these decisions when there's any sign of danger. I can't imagine her getting a lot of sleep because she's constantly smelling the air and looking around for predators. This gives you a bit of the proximity we can get to these bears depending on the tides and their behavior. And I'm just shooting with just my 400 with a 1.4 teleconverter. Pretty simple setup, and I've got that bag just in case it rains, which it did. Now, after a long day out in the water, I don't always get to come back to a comfy, cozy lodge that has power. I sometimes have to come back to my Jeep, and this right here is the DJI Power 2000, and it's the sponsor of today's video. They sent me out this guy to be able to charge everything, and I've got a fridge here, keeps everything nice and cool.
and there's lighting all on the Jeep. And this thing does it all. It's got so much power that I can run power tools, cutting wood, I can do maintenance work. My wife asked me to trim the hedges, and instead of running 2 or 3 power cords plugged into the house, I just plugged it into this. This size of battery is enough to get me through multiple days of shooting cycles, multiple ports running at once, laptop, batteries, the lights in the Jeep. It charges my gear really fast and it's extremely durable. I bounce around quite a bit in the Jeep on back roads and I don't even worry about it. This unit is very quiet even when everything is plugged into it. My family sleeps in the Jeep and we don't even notice that it's even on. Now DJI has other power banks, smaller sizes, but this one actually is perfect for me because I don't really want to bring around solar panels. You can plug them into this unit, but for my trips and multi-day cycles, it gets me through most week-long trips. It's trustworthy. I can even stand on it because this thing is built like a tank. So if you're interested in this, want to see all the features, I'll have a link down below. You can check that out. Thank you so much DJI for sponsoring this week's video. And let's get back out into the water. Now sometimes our adventure gets us on land. Mike, who is our captain, is from this area. He shares his story and the stories that have been passed down, how the nations have interacted with one another, the food that they ate, the medicine, and he also shows us some of the bear claws and fur that's marked on these trees. We start seeing and experiencing things from a different perspective. At the end of the hike is a waterfall, which hopefully will be teeming with salmon during the salmon run this fall. Now, I enjoy landscape photography almost as much as wildlife. To see these beautiful waterfalls, the colors of the rocks, the trees, it's amazing. And there's a lot of telephoto photography opportunities. But if you're like me and you're hungry, you can't photograph on an empty stomach. So Mike beached the boat and we got off on this incredible shell beach to enjoy our lunch. There's some seals, harbor seals, just around this island. Beautiful spot. Just gotta watch my steps so I don't fall in. But amazing shell beaches, nice and soft. Just a perfect spot for lunch. When the sun comes out, it's quite warm. It's warm on the skin, so summer is coming. But if it clouds over, it's nice and cool. So this can be the tricky side of things where you want good light, but the sun has heat to it, and then you get those moments where you get a lot of heat haze. So even with the bear the other day, it was nice that it was a bit overcast. There was a little bit of sunlight that was coming through, but you want it to come through a thin section of clouds so that you get enough contrast and allow the shadows, to contrast against the pop of highlights and color, but not too bright that it blows out your highlights and you get heat haze. Soup was amazing, very warm, and the wind is picking up every once in a while. But yeah, what a nice spot. Harlequin ducks over there. Now this was amazing to see, is all of these shells. There are thousands of shells like that go feet deep, and the trees are all growing above it. And that's because the indigenous people were here for hundreds and
thousands of years, and all the shells were placed here by them. Now it's spring during the time of this recording, and so the wildlife is going to be a bit different than the fall. We have nesting birds like eagles up into these giant nests. Now we always seem to find the harbor seals, which I like to call rock sausages, and the sea lion colony. And the landscape is always changing depending on the light. Now these beautiful little birds are pigeon guillemots. They are fun to capture as they fly by, and it's their nesting season. So there's plenty of them up along the rock ledges, and they'll have these burrows where they create their nests and feed their young. So the springtime is going to be a bit different than the fall, but there's always wildlife opportunities to focus and capture. Here's some oyster catchers, and we saw some harlequin ducks, which are one of my favorite ducks to photograph. Over the radio waves, we heard that there was a pod of orcas. So we followed them for a little bit, and off in the distance we spotted a humpback whale. So it's cool to see the season really kicking off nice and strong with a lot of wildlife. Now some of the most memorable moments weren't wildlife at all, but the culture, the history, and hearing about Mike's home. Now on Alert Bay, there is a cultural center that Mike took us to. It's actually an incredible building, amazingly laid out, and I can't film everything inside, but we learned a lot there. Now this video is just a taste of what we experienced. This is going to be a workshop in 2027 that you can sign up for to see all of this wildlife, learn about the culture and the people, and stay at this beautiful lodge. If you go over to mattshannon.ca/workshops, all the information's there and you can sign up. And if you aren't subscribed, think about subscribing. I'd love to see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao.